Question 7.7. Well, this is really another proportion question, but it's important with these best value questions to really set it out clearly. These would normally be the questions which have got an asterisk against them, meaning there are marks being awarded specifically for how well you set out your argument. So the best way to set one of these out, because we're trying to decide which of these packages of nails is best value, in other words the cheapest, is to set up three columns. So this column is where we're going to look at the 200 gram packet. This column is where we'll look at the 500 gram packet, and this column is where we'll look at the 1.5 kilogram packet. Now, first things first, I think it's best just to work in the same weight units or mass units all the time. So grams, grams. Let's convert this also into grams. There are 1,000 grams in a kilogram, so 1.5 kilograms is 1,500 grams. Now, let's go back to the 200 gram nails. £1.80 buys you 200 grams worth of nails. So how much would 1 gram cost you? Well, that's £1.80 divided by 200 grams. Now, if you do that on your calculator, you'll see that you start getting into standard form and it all gets a bit messy. So I think it's best to not have such small numbers. So rather than working with £1.80, let's turn that into pennies. So that's 180 pennies divided by 200 grams. Remember, there's 100 pennies in a pound. So 100 pennies is what it costs to buy 200 grams. So 1 gram must be 180 divided by 200. And if you do that on your calculator, you find that each gram costs you 0.9 pence. So we repeat that with the 500 gram bag of nails. So 400 pennies gets you 500 grams. So how much must 1 gram cost you? Well, if 400p gets you 500 grams, 1 gram must be 400 divided by 500, which is 0.8 pennies per gram. Repeat with our third, the bigger pack of nails. £10 gets you 1,500 grams. 1,000 pennies gets you 1,500 grams. 1,000 divided by 1,500, 0.67 pennies per gram. Pennies per gram. Pennies divided by grams. Okay, now we can properly compare and contrast because each of these tell us how much 1 gram costs. Now we want to pay as little as possible, so this is the answer. Okay, so we can argue that the 1.5 kilogram pack is best value for money. So this is exactly how I want you to set out this type of question.